If someone offered you $1 million right now, you'd probably take it, right? It sounds like an insane amount of money, enough to change your life forever. Well, prepare to have your mind completely blown, because the difference between a million Let's start with time. 1,000,000 seconds is about 11 and a half days. You could take a nice 2-week vacation, and 1,000,000 seconds would have passed. Now, what about 1 billion seconds? Any guesses? A month? A year? Not even close. 1 billion seconds is nearly 32 years. Think about that. And maybe even a family, and the time it takes for 1 billion seconds to tick by. That's the difference. 11 days versus 32 years. It's not just more, it's a completely different scale of existence. Okay, let's talk about something more tangible. Physical cash. Imagine you have $1 million in crisp $100 bills. You can physically hold it, touch it, see it all at once. Now, let's stack up $1 billion in $100 bills. This is where it gets absolutely ridiculous. That stack would be over 3,580 feet tall. That's taller than the Burj Khalifa in Dubai, the tallest building in the world. It's more than 3 times the height of the Eiffel Tower. It's not a pile of money anymore. It's a skyscraper of cash. Let's apply this to spending. If you had $1 million and you spent $1,000 every single day, you'd run out of money in about 2 years and 9 months. $1,000 a day is a pretty lavish lifestyle for most people. You could eat at fancy restaurants, travel, and buy nice things. But after less than 3 years, it's all gone. Now, let's do the same with $1 billion. You're spending $1,000 every single day. How long would it take to run out? A few decades. Maybe. Try again. Let me repeat that. 2,740 years. That's how long your $1 billion would last. You couldn't spend it fast enough. You'd have to actively try to get rid of it. If you decided to spend $1 million a day, it would still take you almost 3 years to burn through $1 billion. $1 million a day. That's life-changing money for someone, spent every single day, and it still takes years to empty the vault. If you gave every single person in a sold-out stadium $14, you'd have spent about $1 million. Everyone gets a hot dog and a soda, and your million is gone. Now, what about $1 billion? To give away $1 billion, giving each person $14, you wouldn't just fill one stadium. You'd have to fill over 1,000 NFL stadiums. Imagine 1,000 stadiums, packed to the brim, all connected. $1 million is a local event. $1 billion is a national one. It's a long time, but it's achievable. It's a goal you can set and work towards within a reasonable time frame. Now, to become a billionaire, earning that same $100,000 a year, you would need to work for 10,000 years. 10,000 years. It's not just a longer career, it's an impossible one. This shows that billionaires don't make their money from a salary. Their wealth comes from assets, investments, and ownership that generate money on a scale that is completely disconnected from the concept of earning a living. Let's think about what you could buy. With $1 million, you could buy a very nice house in many parts of the country. You could take an incredible around-the-world trip for a year. It's a huge amount that unlocks a lot of dreams. You could buy your own private island, a super yacht, the size of a small cruise ship, a fleet of private jets, and still have hundreds of millions left over. You could fund a major Hollywood blockbuster movie out of pocket. The difference isn't just in the quality of the things you buy. It's in the ability to fundamentally alter systems, create industries, and influence the world on a massive scale. A millionaire buys things. A billionaire buys companies and influence. Let's visualize it another way. Imagine a single grain of rice represents $100. To get $1 million, you would need 10,000 grains of rice. That's a pretty big bowl of rice, about 5 pounds worth. You could cook it and have a meal for a large family. Now, for $1 billion, you would need 10 million grains of rice. That's not a bowl of rice. That's over 5,000 pounds of rice. That's 2.5 tons. It would fill up the back of a large pickup truck. It's an industrial quantity. One is a meal. The other is a shipment. The comparison is almost nonsensical, and that's the point. Our brains are wired to understand the difference between 1 and 10, or DS and 100. But the leap from $1 million to $1 billion is a cognitive jump that we are just not equipped to make intuitively. We hear $1 million and billion, and they sound similar. Just different prefixes. Understanding this difference is key to understanding the world we live in. It helps us understand conversations about wealth inequality, taxes, and the global economy. When we hear about a company making $1 billion profit, or an individual's net worth increasing by $1 billion, we can now appreciate the sheer scale of that number. It's not just a lot of money. It is a quantity of resources that is almost incomprehensibly large, capable of shaping societies. $1 million is a personal fortune. It can secure comfort, freedom, and luxury for you and your family. It's a dream many of us aspire to. $1 billion is not a personal fortune. It's an economic force. It's enough money to employ thousands of people, to sway political outcomes, to fund scientific research. That could change the future. The next time you see a headline about $1 million lottery winner, you can think, wow, 11 days of seconds. And when you see a headline about a billionaire, you can think, wow, 32 years of seconds. It's a simple mental trick, but it helps to anchor these abstract numbers in a reality we can feel. We can all answer that. The real question that breaks your brain is, what would you even begin to do with $1 billion? After you've bought everything you could ever want, after you've secured your family for generations, what do you do with the remaining $950 million? How do you even manage it? That's the question that defines the difference. And that's also where our visualization journey ends today. But before you go, let me leave you with one final thought experiment. If you earned $5,000 a day, every single day, since the day Christopher Columbus first sailed to America in 1492, you still wouldn't be a billionaire today.